Hey everybody, I'm Allie Pfeiffer with NaturalliWell. I just want to take a minute to introduce myself and give you a little story about who I am and let you know what I do as a business and how I can help you in your injury recovery. So when I was 19, I was working on being a professional water skier, and I had a really horrible water skiing accident, and I ended up tearing everything from my neck to my waist, the front and back of my body, and I was temporarily paralyzed from my neck down. It was a very traumatic injury, very frightening. And I had been a water skier for a long time, and it was just one of those freak accidents out of nowhere, and I was going about 30 miles an hour. So this translated later in my life that other activities I would do where I would get to about 30 miles an hour would trigger a panic response in me, and I would just need to stop. Whether I was on a bicycle, on a horse, water skis again. I did get back out on the water skis. Very traumatic to do that. So I do understand the psychological impact of trying to readdress a sport that you've had an injury in. And just, it was pretty much anything that I wasn't strapped in, like in a car, I would have that panic again. So I understand sort of the trauma effect of these injuries and what it does to you psychologically and your mindset. The other piece of this puzzle is later in life, I ended up I'm a neurokinetic therapist is what it is. I do body work, I do healing work, but I also address the mindset piece. I do something called energetic kinetic reset, which is a trauma release technique. And we can, I can link it to an emotional response, a memory, an actual injury event, different pieces of that, or a physical piece of it can be showing up linked to all of that. So I work on clearing that out. And the main part of what I do too is neurokinetic therapy. And that looks at how did your body compensate either before injury, what was going on, how were the muscles firing, were they out of balance, where were you compensating, what was the body doing, or post-injury, like a perfect example, and this will just be a very simple example. Say you've sprained your ankle and you're limping for a week or two, or you're favoring that side. Your body offloads, changes how it fires the muscle patterning and how it loads the body. So actually when you feel better though, you have fired that compensated pattern enough that is your new normal. And so you're trying to go back to walking straight and you think you are, but your body is not necessarily firing the muscles the way it should be. You're not in optimal movement. And that can either create a situation where it leads to additional injuries, or it makes it hard to get a full recovery back because you can't necessarily access those muscles to fully build up your strength and maybe changing your mobility, your range of motion. So I look at all of that and reset those patterns, and it's all manual work. I don't use machines or anything. It's manual muscle testing. It's actually watching your movement, your gait patterns, assessing pain levels and function, and I change all that in a session. So it's a little different than physical therapy, but it can go hand in hand with physical therapy. So that is what I do. And I also have a understanding too of how we hold pain in the body, the pieces of the mind that get in the way, the little ways we talk to ourselves that say, oh my gosh, what if my knee doesn't hold up? Or, oh, what if my shoulder hurts? And we actually predispose ourselves to additional injuries or muscle weakness or pain because that's our thought process. So I can work with you as well on addressing, I call it the movie that plays in your head about how you function and what will happen or what could happen. So I would love to work with any of you that are in this group to help you recover from what's happened on several different levels. I'm also a level 1 certified alpine ski instructor, and I work at Copper. So I'm more than happy to help some of you get back out there on your greens and your blues and test out, how am I feeling? Let's work on the mindset piece right in the action of trying to ski. And there's no rush to it, but I'd be happy to ski with any of you that need that as well. And we can set up times for that. But please feel free to reach out to me. My office is in Frisco, right on Main Street. And I do massage therapy. I do scar work. I'm a Reiki. There's a whole lot of pieces that I can work on to help you recover. And usually it's a multiple combination of all of those to get you back out on the slope and comfortable, and back to living a life where your injury isn't the primary thought you have in your head. I get that because I had about 20 years of every time I moved, be like, oh my gosh, my back might hurt, my neck might hurt. And it took me a long time to find all the pieces and correct those. And now I understand more of what was holding me back, and I'd be happy to help you get to a better outcome more quickly, and support you in that. So I look forward to hearing from you guys.